Hard to believe they left me nothing.
Well, Mother was pretty steamed when you ran off with your Ferelden apostate.
My children have been in servitude. Servitude for a year. They should be nobility.
If wishes were poppy, we'd all be dreaming.
Why was nothing set aside for us, Uncle?
Your mother was supposed to marry the Comte de Launcey, and instead she ran off with some Ferelden apostate. You don't get to stay the favorite when you do that.
Where is Father's will? If I could just see for myself.
It's not here, all right? It was read, it went in the vault. No one needed to look at it again.
I know the Amels were nobility, Mother, but not much else. Why don't you ever talk about them?
The Amels have been a noble family in Kirkwall since Garahel drove out the Fourth Blight. But we've always carried magic in our blood. It's been a stain on our lineage. No family of good standing would ever marry into a line with magic. When I chose your father, I was bringing more magic into our line, not less. I think that's what hurt my parents the most.
Did Grandfather mention Mother in his will at all?
Our father died when you were still in Pinafores, girl. You can hardly expect me to remember.
Oh, of course not. Why should you do something reasonable?
That touched a nerve. What's in there that you don't want us to see?
Nothing. But you won't be seeing the bloody thing. It's still locked up on the estate, and that's long out of my hands.
What daft bastard leaves that behind?
It was old news. You think I've been sitting here for 25 years waiting for Leandra to slink back?
Who bought the estate, Gamlen? Perhaps I could speak to them. Was it the Reinhardts?
No one you know. Get used to Lowtown, sister. That's where we're going to stay.
Maker, what a mess. I want to make things better for Mother. But some of what Gamlen says, I'm having a hard time hating him. Playing caretaker for someone else's life. Stuck in their shadow. That's no way to live.
And there it is.
Look, if you want to join the fight over who lost the most, fine. But I never lived here. Mother even gave me her old key to try and stir something. But I didn't know Grandfather. Finding his will doesn't matter to me.
She tried her best to give us what we need. I think she's due the same.
Oh, I see her side. Gamlen's definitely an arse. But it's not like we can just ask slavers to give back that life.
What have you heard?
Uncle's a chatty drunk. He was up to his neck and signed everything over. That's who has the estate. Apparently, the most extensive wine cellar in Kirkwall is now a slave highway from the Undercity. That's the family legacy.
That sounds like an arrangement that needs to change.
And what if it does? We still aren't important enough to actually live in the place.
Baby steps, Carver.
All right, sister. If the key works, we'll clear the estate from the Undercity up. I don't know if this will help, but I do feel like hitting someone.
I always wanted to bring you children back to meet your grandparents. Now, I wish we'd stayed in Ferelden. He wasn't like this in Lothering. I think he misses the open fields.
Come on. Let's play Fetch the Invisible Ball.
He just needs to get out more. Don't you, boy?
We might soon have need for a war dog.
Take it. I'm sick of what's-his-name staring and panting.
Gamlen, honestly, a Mabari understands what you say. Try using his name.
What's wrong with dog? Real easy to remember.
Well, this looks like the place. If you have a plan, get to it. That's the El Crest, I think. Mother described it once. Put that above your door and you better have the ties to back it up. Otherwise you just look old.
Watch where you step. Mind if I try my hand at that? We're good to go.
That has to be the vault. If there's anything to learn about the family, that's where it is. So this is it. Grandfather's will. Let's just take it back to Mother and be done with it.
I don't think there's any point in delaying the news.
So I'm just saying, blood's blood and all, but you are taking advantage of my hospitality. It's only fair if you make something of a monthly contribution.
You sold my children into servitude. Now you're asking me to pay rent?
Maybe just put something towards food.
You should be paying us, Uncle. We found the will.
Grandfather left everything to Mother and us. I guess he had some sense after all. See for yourself.
I should... maybe...
To my daughter Leandra, and all children born of her, the estate in Hightown and all associated revenues.
Check out the part where Gamlen is left only a stipend, to be controlled by you.
Gamlen, how could you?
You're the one who ran away, Leandra. What happened to love is so much more important than money.
It is!
You didn't even come home for the funeral.
The twins were a week old.
We all have our burdens. Mine was looking after a life you abandoned. How long was I supposed to wait?
I doubt you let the ashes get cold.
I took care of Father. I stayed. And on his deathbed, all he could talk about was Leandra. Look, sister, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it, but I did. And there's nothing I can do to get it back.
I don't expect that, Gamlen. It's enough to know Mother and Father didn't die angry. I'll petition the Viscount for rights to reclaim the estate. Make a willing, you'll have your house back within weeks.
You don't have the coin or standing to even get an audience with the Viscount. You've got to be someone in this city to live in that house again.
Then I had better get started. When I told your grandmother I was marrying your father, she threatened to disown me. She said my children would be mongrels. My father wanted to lock me in, but she told him it's her life, let her ruin it. I wrote to her when each of you were born. She never wrote back. I'm glad she didn't die hating me.
Your mother's dead. Let it go.
When I was a girl, your grandmother was the young, beautiful, noble mother all my friends wished they had. She might have had a hard time accepting it at first, but she would have loved you, all three of you. Oh, Bethany. She was such a sweet little girl. Never cried, just looked at you with those big eyes.
She was so young to be taken from us.
I just keep thinking there's something we could have done. It's killing me. I remember that awful creature reaching down and 18 years of loving and feeding and raising, and that was it.
Blame the Darkspawn, not yourself.
The Darkspawn would have been happy with any prey. It was my fault it was Bethany. I miss her. There were 4 of us when the Blight began. It will never be over while there are just 3. I've written to the Viscount. I've an audience for after Bartrand's expedition leaves. I couldn't do anything for Bethany, but with luck, I can at least give us a home.
So, what? Are you here to gloat? Gamlen's the idiot again. Gamlen's the fool who can't hold his money when it's given in a bloody silver basket. I tried, you know, when Leandra left. But no one was ever going to live up to her.
I've seen the nobles in this town. Your parents must have had a fortune. Where did it all go?
Well, it's not like I stood at the side of the wharf and hurled it over. I tried to invest it. I got some good tips on trade in Kunari cheeses. And, you know, a man's got needs. I'm not denying I spent more on myself than I should have, but I figured it'd all work out.
So, the best way to make Daddy love you was to steal his money?
I changed their filthy sheets and wiped their chins through 2 bouts of the cholera, and the last word Father said was... Leandra. I'm not looking for love, but at least I got the money.
Hello, Lord Carver.
We're still a long way from cowing Templars with our titles, sister.
You could slap on a smile for a few days. For her sake.
She's not interested in what I think. She wants to provide for us, and you're making sure it happens. And when we're done, I don't know, I guess we'll sit around thinking about how great we used to be. Mother didn't even want that life back until we got dumped here. And you only care because we're under Templar scrutiny.
You hating everything I do is really losing its charm.
Sure, make light. Why take anything seriously? You're the eldest. You lead by default.
I don't see you taking the reins.
When should I do that? When I'm following you around, or when I'm caring for Mother while you tame mighty Kirkwall? Besides, we both know what happens when someone leaves dear sister's protection. I'm sure Bethany would appreciate that you're keeping good humor.
Fun's fun, but you're taking this little pissing match too far.
What? You don't like someone making a joke out of everything you are?
I don't see the humor in digging up Bethany so you can hide behind her, too. Well, good talk.
Sister. I feel... I don't know. It's like Mother taking everything out on us. She was just scared. I don't have a place in the life she is trying to bring back. I'm here if you need me. But I must find my own way.
Varric, do you do anything?
Am I the next stop in your...
More mages. You talk. I'm going to ask the guards about their training.
I know your face. I am Tobias. You and that man are both hawks. I remember your father. Malcolm was a good man.
My father must have left quite an impression. The letter I found was ancient.
I needn't tell his own child how special he was. As to the letter, it pained me to send news of the Templar's death.
The Templar?
He allowed your father to leave Kirkwall. Rule is not served by caging the best of us. A wise man.
Sounds like he didn't quite understand the job.
Doubt can serve the faithful, even as it vexes them. I fear this has been lost. I will send the letters I held. It seems fitting that they return to family. Such a friendship. Few like your father remain. Even fewer like the Templar. Rest well at the Maker's side, Sir Morivard Carver.
Here, I got you something.
Why?
Don't give me that look. Be grateful for 5 minutes.
These are by father. Are you sure they aren't meant for you? I bet another mage could get more out of them. For your service that cannot be admitted, I ask that you accept this trinket and know that I shall respect your name. Thank you, Conscience of the Order, Sir Morivard Carver. Carver?
The Templar who allowed Father to leave Kirkwall. Your namesake.
A Templar? Have we met a Templar who isn't a colossal prig?
Well, there you go then.
I wonder how it compares to yours.
I'm sure someone thought far too long about my name. Point is, this was a swordsman.
A man who let him look ahead. It would always mean skill thoughtfully applied. Not exactly master of all blades, but Father actually thought there was worth to a swordsman. Thank you, sister. It's a connection I didn't think was there.